Good morning. I'm Nancy McDowell, a member of the Board of Trustees here at our church, and I want to welcome everyone here. It's great to be doing service with you, and it's great to have people chime in remotely as well. Good morning. An especially warm welcome to visitors who are visiting today. We're delighted you chose to come and spend some time with us, and we hope your experience will be time well spent. After the service, we encourage you to help yourself to coffee or tea and then join me and other MLUCers by the fireside room, by the fireplace. We look forward to meeting you there. You'll also find more information at the welcome table in the lobby. Let me introduce our worship team today. Dawn Star Sarahs-Borchelt, Director of Lifespan Faith Development, will lead us in worship today. Dr. Emma Mellon is our worship associate. And Dr. Vincent Craig and the MLUC Choir will lead us in song today. Thank you. This time together is the centerpiece of our communal life. Here, we can let go, be held, and be challenged as we share and reflect on life's journey. Through song and story, silence and the spoken word, we open our minds and our hearts to a place of deeper understanding. Every voice and every heart are welcome. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your background or personal circumstance, however you vote, you are welcome here. Some special announcements. There's a lot going on in our church, and you'll find more in your order of service. Our music director, Dr. Vincent Craig, will present a recital tomorrow, Monday, March 6th at 8 p.m. at the Madeline Wynne Adler Theater in Westchester University. This is a free event, and the program will include works by Schubert, Chopin, and Betty Jackson King. More to come from Vincent. If you'd like to be a delegate at this year's General Assembly, please let Yasara Antar know. It's being held in Pittsburgh this year, so very close, no flying, you can just drive out there, and it's open to anyone to attend. But if you would like to be a delegate, which means that you vote on behalf of the church, that needs to be approved in advance, so please sign up to attend virtually or in person. The sooner you sign up, the better the fees are, apparently. It's a very exciting event. If you haven't been to GA, it's definitely worth some days of your time. This Wednesday's lecture luncheon features our own Tim Conahan, who will speak about the relevant work he and others have done to help the Guatemala children have better smiles. It's important work. Sign up. Information is in your order of service, and they need our SVPs by tomorrow. Some good news, Adult Owl wrapped up the first session this morning, just 30 minutes ago. Carrie Nielsen and Yasara report that it was a resounding success. I see hands coming up like this. It was fun and exciting. There'll be more programs to come. If you want to have more information, ask Yasara or Carrie Nielsen, who's right here. An important reminder from our executive director, daylight savings time begins next Sunday. People who still use clocks, this is from Rich, only Rich would write this. People who still use clocks which are not automatically synced via the internet will need to move them ahead 1 hour the night before. Only Rich Fritzen. And now, if you will take a moment to silence all of your devices, let us enjoy this service together, beginning now with reciting our mission statement. Together, we transform lives through love, service, and our welcoming faith.
This chalice lighting was inspired by the lyrics of Leonard Cohen's anthem. We light this chalice with the hope, as a symbol of hope and with the wish that its flame will open the cracks that lead to love and understanding of people everywhere.
Today's service is an opportunity to reflect together on vulnerability. We will think together, we will feel together, we will wonder together, and sing together, and listen together. In the words of Roddy Bell Shelton Biggs, open the book of life. What do you see as you flip through the pages, soaking it all up? Where is your joy? The pain, the hope, the loss, the love. Now close it tight. Place your hand over your heart and pause. Then open up the book of life again. Pause once more. Remember, beloved, be vulnerable and begin again in love. Come, let us worship together. Let us worship by rising as you are able and or willing, and singing together our hymn number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me. Would you rather be happy or worried? I think most of us would rather be happy, but sometimes we aren't happy. Sometimes we're worried. Worries can rattle around inside our hearts and our minds and make us feel alone and unhappy. And a lot of times when we feel worried, one word for what we feel might be vulnerable. And knowing we're vulnerable and can't cope with everything ourselves can feel scary. And then that makes us more worried, and it goes around and around and around, more worried, more vulnerable, more worried, more vulnerable. But life asks us to be vulnerable in a different way, an open way, by asking for help. Saying I need help does make me feel vulnerable. I don't know about anybody else. Sometimes we don't want to ask. We really wish we could just do it ourselves. But when we ask a trusted friend or a family member, or even just say or write our worries out loud, we feel a connection instead of feeling alone. Sharing our worries helps us calm down and helps stop the worries from rattling around in our hearts. So sometimes people use a worry stone. I actually forgot to grab my stone, but it's just a stone that you can rub on when you're feeling worried. And it helps keep you in the right here, right now. Right now, I'm rubbing this stone. And probably in the right now, whatever it is you're worried about isn't actually happening right now. It can help you feel better when you're feeling vulnerable. Some people use a worry box. We have a lovely worry box here. Actually, I usually hear it called a God box, but I guess worry box is also a good term for it. It's a box that you can use. You can write down whatever it is that's worrying you, and then you put it in the box. And then you aren't allowed to take it back out of the box. It has to stay there. You have to let it go into the box, that worry. It can be a real box like this one, or it can be imaginary. And I actually usually use an imaginary one. and it's not even a box, but I imagine that I'm putting my worries away in the linen closet in my grandma's house where I lived from when I was 8 until I was 15. And I have no idea why it's the linen closet. But that's where it feels safe to put my worries. They'll still be there if I need them later, for some reason, but it's a safe place to put them. And with my kids, oftentimes, if they're feeling worried about something, I will say, do you think you could imagine folding that worry up into a little square and putting it in your pocket? It'll still be there if you want to come back to it later, but we could not worry about that anymore and do the thing that we're trying to do, whatever that thing is. And then sometimes they tell me, but I don't have pockets. I'm like, it can be an imaginary pocket too. Okay. Being vulnerable and asking for help instead of trying to pretend that we are always happy and okay can open the door to being really happy when we have what we need and know we will be supported even when things are hard or scary. I want to invite the children and youth to go to their classes now. I want to also acknowledge that today a bunch of grown-ups go out too because our coming of age mentors go out with the kids, which is awesome, and I really appreciate you. Please go to your classes.
Today, we share our plate with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, or UUSC, an international human rights organization grounded in the values of Unitarian Universalism and the UN Declaration of Human Rights. For over 80 years, UUSC has partnered with communities working to advance human rights and dismantle oppressive systems. Since the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine in February of 22, UUSC has partnered with grassroots organizations in Ukraine and Poland to support those fleeing the war, especially those with the least access to aid, such as Black and brown people, LGBTQIA people, disabled people, Roma people, and the elderly. We have a brief video narrated by Laura Randall, the Director of Congregational Development, describing the work of UUSC.
Or UUSC, is a non-sectarian international human rights organization grounded in Unitarian Universalist values that has been a powerful force for justice since its founding in 1940 in response to the rise of Nazism in Europe. UUSC's work is based on a partnership model that centers the experience and leadership of the people who are most impacted by injustice. Our partnerships with grassroots organizations in Europe go back many years, and this foundation meant we could respond quickly to Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, with the goal of supporting long-term justice movements as well as historically and currently excluded communities. UUSC is partnering with grassroots organizations that support intersectional movements, in particular feminists, LGBTQIA+ people, Roma communities, people living with HIV, people with disabilities, people in migration, and ethnic, racial, climate, economic, gender, and labor justice organizers in the region. Our partners in this work include the following organizations, along with many others in Poland and Ukraine. The Alliance for Black Justice Poland is a coalition of organizations which came together in March 2022 to address the discriminatory treatment of many Black and brown people fleeing Ukraine and entering Poland. In the immediate wake of Russia's full-scale invasion, the coalition organized to respond to the needs of Africans fleeing Ukraine by providing transport from the border areas to cities throughout Poland, advice on legal rights in Poland, and help with accessing safe accommodation, healthcare, and other basic services. As mass evacuations from the border ended, Black Justice Poland's work shifted from emergency interventions to long-term support for Black, African, and Afro-descendant people staying in Poland. Thank you, Mainline Unitarian Church. Your support of UUSC means we can continue to bolster the critical work of these grassroots partners and more. Thank you for joining us in this movement for global intersectional solidarity. We couldn't do it without you.
To learn more about these programs, you can find UUSC at uusc.org online. There are several ways to contribute today. You can use the new QR code on the back of the order of service, or text your offering by following the directions. Those of you who are watching remotely can use the Give link on our church website. And for those of you in this room, you can drop actual money in an actual basket, which our wonderful ushers will provide. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vincent. Our Candles of Community is brief today. We'll begin with the people you saw in the film. In Ukraine and Poland, people you saw in the film. In Ukraine and Poland and in other places in the world where vulnerability has reached the breaking point. And I invite you to join your heart with all people vulnerable to war, conflict, misunderstanding, and neglect. We hold you in our hearts. Jean Marie Baldwin's sister, Sally Flanagan, is waiting to be scheduled for open heart surgery. For Sally Flanagan, we hold you in our hearts. And for all those with joys and sorrows too deep to speak, we hold you in our hearts. Thank you.
Please join us in singing hymn number 1002, which is in the teal hymnal if you're looking in a book, Comfort Me. Holy One, who has given us the breath of life, today we remember to breathe deeply, to rest, to take in, to pause before we act, and then to take another deep breath, poised on the edge, and risk jumping in. Risk taking action, risk speaking up, risk using the gifts we have been given, so that at the end of our life, we can say with absolute clarity that no part of our existence was wasted in fear of success or fear of failure. Hold us. Prepare us the way to begin to offer the gift of our awakened presence, full of love and light today. These and the prayers of our hearts we lift up now in the silence. Amen. This service will be a little different from what you may be used to. I won't be telling you much about what I think, although there will be lots of time for you to ponder what you think. There will be lots of music. We will listen to the words of many wise people. I've chosen the words we'll explore together because they're interesting, not necessarily because I agree with every single one of them, but they all hold some kernel of truth. In this service, I invite you to listen for what you agree with and for what challenges you, for what calls to you and for what is uncomfortable. I invite you into a conversation, which explicitly will be between me and Emma and Vincent, as we speak different pieces and hear different music, but includes you as well.
The poem Yes by William Stafford. It could happen any time. Tornado, earthquake, Armageddon. It could happen. Sunshine, love, salvation. It could, you know. That's why we wake and look out. No guarantees in this life. But some bonuses, like morning, like right now, like noon, like evening.
Words from C. Joybell. Don't be afraid of your fears. They're not there to scare you. They're there to let you know that something is worth it.
Kindness by Naomi Shihab Nye. Listen, before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go so that you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow, you must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend.
service is actually an audio recording by Frances Walker. And I have the wrong date on the slide. Her birthday was actually March 4th, so yesterday was her birthday. And I could spend an hour telling you about how accomplished she was, but basically, she was a professor of piano, concert pianist, and professor of piano at the Oberlin Conservatory, was the first black tenured woman at the conservatory. And during my years there, I had the honor of being one of her students for 4 years. And so this recording that you're about to hear is one of the tracks from her unfortunately, her only commercially released album, which included the 24 Negro melodies arranged by Samuel Coleridge Taylor. And then there was a second disc, these were LPs, and that included the 7 traceries by William Grant Still. And this photograph was probably taken about that time, I think, maybe in the late 70s when she was doing the recording. Unfortunately, it was supposed to have happened in this beautiful space, Warner Concert Hall, and they started recording and the electricity went out. It was January, and so she was commuting at the time and ended up doing the entire recording. Was recorded in her home on her own personal piano. So the sound is not quite what it would be in a concert hall on a concert grand like one of these, but still very powerful and very nice, very powerful addition to today's service, hopefully.
When You Are Weary by Jess Reynolds. When you are weary, waking up is enough. Putting on shoes before you walk out on the wet leaves that plaster the driveway is enough. It is enough to love one person, one dog, one tree in a neighbor's yard, one 50-cent mug at the thrift store. You turn on the radio in the car, you let a minivan merge into your lane during rush hour. After 3 weeks of half darkness, you change the light bulb above your desk. It is enough to breathe, to put your hands in your cold face in your cold hands and tell your palms and the empty kitchen that you don't know what else to do. You open the blinds just enough to see if the mail carrier has come today. You turn your head at the sound of a musician on the street corner, their guitar slightly out of tune. You buy bananas at the supermarket and eat all but one before they turn to mush. It is enough to be here, to drink cold water from the tap, to fall asleep on the couch with a cat in the crook of your knees. It is enough to be alive. I want to invite you to learn a chant that will be our musical response to the next set of words. It's very simple. It's 2 lines. I'll sing the first line and then you'll sing it back to me. Then I'll sing the second line and you'll sing it back to me, and then we'll sing it through a few times. I see myself in joy and love. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself, I am enough. I know myself, I am enough. And I tell you, if you drive all the way to work singing that song over and over again to learn it, you will feel really good by the time you get to work. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself, I am enough. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself, I am enough. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself, I am enough.
This reading is from Pema Chodron. Most of us do not take these situations as teachings. We automatically hate them. We run like crazy. We use all kinds of ways to escape. All addictions stem from this moment when we meet our edge and we just can't stand it. We feel we have to soften it, pat it with something, and we become addicted to whatever it is that seems to ease the pain. It's a transformative experience to simply pause instead of immediately trying to fill up the space. By waiting, we begin to connect with fundamental restlessness as well as fundamental spaciousness. By spaciousness, I mean vast calm available to us in the inner space of turning inward in meditation and conscious presence. And from Ken Page, who talks about how our insecurities can reveal our deepest gifts. Core gifts are not the same as talents or skills. In fact, until we understand them, they often feel like shameful weaknesses or as parts of ourselves too vulnerable to expose. An example is a client who feels she is too much, whose core gift is passion. Another who feels he is not enough, whose core gift is humility. Yet these vulnerable parts of ourselves are where our soul lives, Page observes. But gifts aren't hall passes to happiness. They get us into trouble again and again. We become most defensive or most naive around them. They challenge us and the people we care about. They ask more of us than we want to give. And we can be devastated when we feel them betrayed or rejected. Since the heat of our core is so hard to handle, we protect ourselves by moving farther out from the center. Each ring outwards represents a more airbrushed version of ourselves. Each makes us feel safer, puts us less at risk of embarrassment, failure, and rejection. Yet each ring outward also moves us one step further from our soul, from our authenticity, and our sense of meaning. So most of us set up shop at a point where we are close enough to be warmed by our gifts, but far enough away that we do not get burned by their fire. We create safer versions of ourselves to enable us to get through our lives without having to face the existential risk of our core.
I see myself in joy and love. I know myself, I am enough. A quote from Madeleine L'Engle, one of my very favorite humans. When we were children, we used to think that when we were grown up, we would no longer be vulnerable. But to grow up is to accept vulnerability. To be alive is to be vulnerable. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself, I am enough.
This quote is from Reverend Megan Foley. If I'm able to say, I'm vulnerable, rather than saying, you're making me mad, then there is much more room for connection and healing.
I see myself in joy and love. I know myself, I am enough.
And this from Maria Popova. To be human is to be a miracle of evolution. Consciousness of its own, To be human is to be a miracle of evolution, conscious of its own miraculousness. A consciousness beautiful and bittersweet, for we have paid for it with a parallel awareness not only of our fundamental improbability, but of our staggering fragility, of how physiologically precarious our survival is, and how psychologically vulnerable our sanity. To make that awareness bearable, we have evolved a singular faculty that might just be the crowning miracle of our consciousness: hope.
the place where the hurt comes. I said, hope comes from the place where the hurt comes. I said, hope comes from the place where the hurt comes. I said, hope comes from the place where the hurt comes. When your world is burning down, well, getting hot is a sane reaction, but one in need of action, because your spirit needs protection. So gather up your sinew and gather up your faction. Hope is not a feeling, hope is an action. Hope comes from the place where the hurt comes. I said, hope comes from the place where the hurt comes. I said, hope comes. We are not all right. I said, hope comes. We are not all right. Where the hurt comes. I'm gonna fall down on my knees. That's enough living. I'm gonna say, will you help me, please? That's enough living. I'm gonna say I'm not all right. That's enough living. I'm just trying to make it through this night. Yeah. That's enough living. I'm gonna fall down on my knees. Yeah. Oh, will we say, help me, please? Help me, please. We can say, hey, we are not all right. We are not all right. We can help each other get through the night. Because hope comes from the center of the hurt, in the middle of the dirt. We'll plant a seed and watch it grow into something we don't already know.
Invite you into a litany of wholeheartedness in response. Do we have the slide up? There are words for you to say. They're on a slide. Yes, there we go. Okay. Because there have been times when shame has crushed our ability to be wholehearted, we let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are.
Because we have not always had the courage to be imperfect,
We let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are. Because we have struggled to have compassion for ourselves or others, we let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are.
because we have been afraid of our own vulnerability,
We let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are. Because we are sometimes too scared to live authentically, we let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are.
Because we want to be wholehearted people, confident in our worthiness and our belonging.
We let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are. Please rise as you are able and willing and sing our final hymn, number 391, Voice Still and Small, in the gray hymnal if you're looking at a book. It may be that when we no longer know what to do, we have come to our real work, and that when we no longer know which way to go, we have come to our real journey. The mind that is not baffled is not employed. The impeded stream is the one that sings. Go in peace, go in kindness, go in love, go in faith, go in grace.